man. We need that.
But let me ask you. I know, understand. So basically, you told me that obviously there's no loan limits when utilizing the VA loan, right? So though there's no loan limits, you know, we have investors, a lot of investors in the veteran community. I know, particularly one of my buddies, he's actually trying. I want to always provide education and information, the right information. No scuttlebutt talk, no mess deck talk. We don't want to do that. So if he's trying to purchase a second home, a secondary home, he still has no loan limits.
Man, that's a great, wonderful question, man. That's a great, wonderful question. Now if you're trying to purchase a second home using your VA loan, and you do have you still own your first home, right? You converted that into a rental, trying to purchase a second home. If you kept that first loan under a VA loan, you would have loan limits for that next property, because it's going to go off of your eligibility, which kind of sort of got thrown out of the window, because the eligibility used to kind of go around with your loan limit, right? But now
Mhm.
it's only being calculated when you have multiple properties. So at that point, you're going to have to look at what the loan is on that first property, and then actually see what that certificate of eligibility is, and then
Mhm.
go ahead and you can see what you can qualify for that loan amount. Now, for
Got
most cases, right? For most cases for people, you might just want to refinance that first property to a conventional loan so that you can get your full eligibility for that next property. Because most likely you moving on up like the Jeffersons or something, right? So that property is going to cost more than the first, more than likely. So you want to have utilization of that entire VA loan.
Yeah, because I know a lot of active duty members, man, and particularly 2 to 3 years, they're out. I'm sorry, 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, they're moving on. So a lot of them, they either sell the property, refinance the property, or so on and so forth. Over accumulation of a few duty stations, you can definitely accumulate a few homes in different states and different areas. But you did talk about obviously the eligibility going to purchase in another state. It depends on obviously that county. So you would have to look into that entitlement when you purchase a secondary home, right, for the loan limits.
Correct. Yeah, for the loan limit. So,
Okay.
and again, if you're doing that, man, I would just tell you to the best key is just to refinance that first loan out of that VA loan if you were going to need that whole entire eligibility of the loan, the VA loan for that upgraded property. And a lot of individuals do this, veterans and non-veterans, is kind of called house hacking, right? Where you're living in
Mhm.
a property couple years and then going ahead and buying another property that is going to be owner occupied, and you could accumulate a lot of properties that way, and it's a way to build wealth. So you
Gotcha.
have a couple options. Definitely talk to your real estate professionals, and we'll really see what the best option for your individual situation is going to be, especially with interest rates being more. You may not want to refinance that first loan to a conventional, and you might want to take advantage of trying to see if you can be eligible using both properties. If
Hmm.
you need some additional down payment for that second property, because you don't have the total eligibility, you might be able to take out some cash from that first home, right? In the
Hmm.
home of the equity line of credit, or it's a lot of different nuanced things that you can do to get creative to make this work for you, man. So for our veterans, definitely want to talk to you about the individual situation to see which strategy is going to be best.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Well, thank you for that, man. Listen, you educated me in the loan limits, man. I definitely needed some help in that. Hopefully, I previously watched the last video, provided that great information of assumable loans. So hopefully, I'm gonna be able to assume one rather than outright purchasing. But
Absolutely.
yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. And I know the people do as well. With that being said, man, we're out. Listen, Mr. Jones, please go ahead and get the people what they deserve.
Absolutely, man. We'll do that, man. Thank you guys for watching. Staying in tune with us, man. We really whipping up some great content for you. And, leave down in the comments, man, any kind of particular questions you have or any type of videos and topics you would like for us to cover, whether it's regarding the real estate the disability benefits for veterans, and just a lot of topics in relation to veteran services and real estate in general, and just really just building wealth, right? Because we're definitely some competent professionals, and we're willing to kind of help our community out as much as possible, and in any way we can add some value. So definitely send those ideas, topics, and questions to us, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace and love. You guys have a happy 2023.
Have a happy 2023. Get out there, prepare to compete. We out. Peace.